All right, thanks, guys. We're here with Makena and Annalisa Whittle. This one's Makena, this one's Mom, Annalisa. And you guys have had quite an experience here at BC Children's Hospital and Sunny Hill. Tell us about what happened when Makena was just a year and a half, and then how you ended up here at BC Children's.
Right. Well, Makena was diagnosed with epilepsy when she was 2 years old. And at the time, we didn't really think much of it. It was a diagnosis. We didn't see seizures, really. And then she was on some medication.
You see yourself on TV, right? See, I told you you're going to be a TV star.
And then slowly, things started getting worse for her, where we'd see one every 2 weeks.
Seizures.
We'd see a seizure every 2 weeks. We'd see a seizure every day. And at one point, after a couple of trips to the ER, we saw 8 in a day, where the 8th one, she just dropped to the floor out of nowhere. And luckily, I was able to catch her without hitting her head on the ground.
And at some point, it got as bad as 100 per
Yes.
day?
So at the day that she had 8, we admitted her to the hospital because we knew that her safety was at risk at that point. So we took her down to Children's, asked for her to be admitted to be observed by the neurologist. And at that point, they kept getting worse. We would try a bunch of different medications. Nothing was working. And what we learned is that 30% of people with epilepsy are drug resistant. And lo and behold, she was one of them. So
You're a bit of a ham, aren't you? Just enjoying this TV thing.
So we were there over Christmas of December 2016. And at that time, you see a bunch of different neurologists because everyone's on holidays. So we ended up finding one neurologist who found something on her brain that was causing the problem. And at that point, the head of neurology said, let's get her in for an emergency surgery. And she was going in, and we weren't sure what was going to happen, how she was going to come out of it.
And she was 3?
She was 3.
Emergency brain surgery on your 3-year-old.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
I can't imagine what that would have been like.
It was very scary. We also had our twin 6-month-old babies in hand at the time, so it was a lot going on in our lives. And she came out of the surgery still having seizures, unfortunately. However, her brain did calm down, and we looked at doing a second surgery right away, but because it calmed down, we said, okay, let's hold off.
Right.
Let's go to rehab at Sunny Hill and get her nice and strong, because she had been in a bed at almost 2 months at that point.
Right.
So she was very weak. And then we went off to Sunny Hill and did a lot of swimming.
Yeah. But then you did have to do a second surgery as well,
we
right?
did. Yeah, so then we went back to the drawing board and said, okay, she's still having a seizure at least once a night.
Yeah.
And then the neurologist decided to do it. April 2018 is when she had her second surgery, and at that point they had to remove the motor strip of the right side of her frontal lobe.
And I know they're trying to wrap me up here, but I know there's been a lot of rehabilitation since then as well at Sunny Hill. But you're doing so well, and you're running and swimming and all that kind of stuff, playing with your friends in kindergarten, right? Who are your friends again? Tell me their names.
Erica, May, and Hope.
Hi, Erica, May, and Hope. She's doing great. And you love school? You're in kindergarten now?
Yes.
We're so happy to see you healthy and running around and recovering, Makena. What do you want to say to parents who are watching right now who, haven't made the donation yet? How will this help?
Well, for our family, I mean, her life was saved, and many families, you'll see the same. So just getting the money out there, and with Sunny Hill moving over here, it's a godsend for everyone who's coming here to have it right next door, and then everyone can correspond with one another closely.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Makena and Annalisa. Well done. All right, you can go out and enjoy the sunshine now. Back to you guys.
Hi, I'm Avery. I'm a heart patient and BC Children's Hospital 2019 champion child. Thank you for supporting Miracle Weekend and helping kids like me.